Hello and welcome back to Stationers. My name is Bigfoot. We're playing our Venus Brutal Start series. It is currently day 190. This will probably be the last episode that we manage to get out before the terrain update, but we'll see how that goes. We have a lot to do and no time to do it. A few things going on that we need to do. We need to get our coolant pipe over to our volatiles to start cooling those down, to start making more fuel, to start making more water. I will probably need a dedicated AC to the water, and a separate one for the rest of the base. I'm trying to cool off this room. I added a little bit of gas in here, but instead the room is heating up because the coolant pipe is too hot because it's trying to cool down water. And we need to make a whole lot more water, so it would make sense that I'm probably going to have to set up another AC. It'd probably help to get the spaghetti monster in the greenhouse on the cooling duty if it is not already doing so. But we'll work on that. Okay, so last time we got our water going. This is for the most part all hooked up and ready to go. I just need to make sure that we actually have a thing to cut off. Hey, look, a perpetual motion machine. Can I harness that for power? Interesting. You're supposed to face me when I put you down. Okay, thank you. Alright, so right here... we're basically saying as long as it's less than 468C, then we want the steam cooling valve on. But when it gets down to about 40C, we're not going to want to have that guy on anymore. Could actually update that to 100C. So I'm going to need a low point on this one and a low point on this one, so that we're not overcooling our system. So let's see how we add that in there. Let's see, set less than that, and as long as the other valve and that are not on, that's fine. Let's use R3 at this point. So load into R3 from the... I'd love to be able to reuse that, but I have other things going on with that, so we'll have to just reuse it, or waste another line doing that. So load into R3 from the filter, the temperature output, and if it is... We'll just say if it is greater than... if it's greater than, we'll just say like 80C. So 353.15. .15, which is ADC. We'll add that into R1. No. This is getting really complicated, but I think that should work. So if it's less than 468 and this valve is off, then you'll be 1. Then we check the temperature of the output. If it's greater than 80, then we want it on. So provided that that is true, then we have you on. And then down here, as long as it's greater than 40C, then this is going to want to be on. And that's fine. So that is our low temperature point. I could actually up this to like 100C. Yeah, I should do that. 373.15. Okay, so now this is only going to try and cool it down to 100C, and then it should turn off that valve outside. Now, provided I didn't screw everything up, you're still off. You are on now, which means you should be off. Go outside and verify. So I could just see if it's cooling down the water. Right, water tank, are you cooling down? You are cooling down, that is fantastic. Okay. And where are we at in our coolant? Cooling pipe is 112.
Hunger caution.
And cooling down. Okay. Perfect. So now let's go drag the coolant line over here somewhere, and then we'll need to put in a... I can't do you there. I could do you there, bring the coolant line in here. Actually, can I have you go down one? I cannot. So you're probably going to live there. Put you there. Okay, so then this will basically become red pipe. Can't connect to that red pipe. I need this red pipe. Gross. I'm gonna have to do it from here, I guess. Okay, and then right outside there, I'm gonna have to have the valve for the volatiles. Yep. Really want that inside, but pink pipe is in the way. Could move the pink pipe. That's okay. Let's run on outside. Okay, you are off, you are on. That is great. Where is our water down to? 97, okay. Coolant is at 96, okay. Now, purple pipe, I can just plug in right over there. I don't need to go all the way down there. Ooh, that's convenient. Something has for once gone right today. Okay, I'm gonna need to go over one. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go over two. And then we can just plug you right into this guy. Ta-da! Now we're going up in temperature because I forgot to put the valve in there. Good job, me. And I think I'm going to do it that way because I might be able to see that from inside, which would be handy. And then as far as the cable, I don't really want that in the way. We'll just do something like that. Okay, now let's paint this a nice shade of black. There we go. Now you are going to be named the volatile spool valve. I love that the water is working.
Hydration critical.
Okay, so there's one more check that we do want to add on to this guy. We want to check the coolant. So we want to check the coolant temperature.
Hunger critical.
So to do that, we're just going to reuse R1 down here because we've already used it. I think I'm going to have to load batch named into R1 from the analyzer, which I don't have on here. Analyzer, pipe analyzer. Oops. Paste it first. There we go. All right, and this is the hash for the coolant analyzer. We will take the... Oops, we want the temperature and the maximum. So provided that that is less than 100 C. 373, yep. Provided the R1 is less than 373 C, then we can turn on the liquid water cool valve. So then we have to and into R0 from R0 and R1 again. Confirm that. I think I need to go rename that analyzer. So I don't think you are coolant analyzer. You are coolant pipe analyzer. Don't need that. Coolant analyzer, good. Whoosh. Okay, now I should be able to export you into you. You are still on. Our coolant is less than 100. Good. Okay. Gonna need a chip for you, which I don't currently have. So we'll just nab one of you guys, and we're gonna say clear that. Okay, so here we are going to need the tank. Which will be, oops, pen D0. Alias the filter to D1, or DB, excuse me. And we'll say alias the cool valve to D2, D1. Start. Yield. Yep, so load into R0 from the tank. We're gonna load in the temperature. Then we'll need to define the analyzer. Okay. Load in the tank temperature. We can load into R1 from the analyzer. The hash coolant analyzer. We want the temperature and the maximum. So set in greater than if the temperature in the tank is greater than the let's just say if the volatiles is greater than 250 C. 250 C is 523.15. 23.15. 250 C. Okay, so if the temperature in the tank is greater than 250 C, but we want to say that if R0 so if the temperature is less than 250 C, if the coolant analyzer is greater than no, I want to say less than. Okay, so if the temperature in the coolant analyzer is less than the temperature in the tank, then we want to turn on the cool valve. Yes. Cool valve on or 0. And then jump back to the start. That should be all that we need on here. Line 8. We didn't hook up the pins again. So you should be vol tank. Did I not hook? Oh, I didn't hook up your data. I cut you. There we go. Now I should be able to find you. There you are. Okay, great. Now.
Health critical.
Okay, I guess I'll go deal with that. Need to figure out how to get the power cable up to that valve. Okay, so I need to get the greenhouse spaghetti monster online, cooling down the main coolant line as well. And here I was having it check the temperature to see if it was more than 35C in that coolant line, then it was supposed to, or if it was less than 35C, then it would turn that on. But I need this to run. If it's not, basically if it's not cooling down the greenhouse, then I need it to be cooling down the rest of the base. So yeah, that way the spaghetti monster should always be running. So if I confirm that, export you. You should be heating up, which you are. And you're cooling back down, which is fine. Although what I should do is have this set to minus 70C. That way it doesn't get too cold. 203.15. So if I do this, As long as it is greater than minus 70C. And that's not on. Then I should be able to cool down the rest of the base. So now... Now you are still on, but let us see if we... Good. We needed to add more CO2 in here anyways. Okay, so the other one should not be on. Down to 16 liters of liquid. So I need this guy to work. Okay, you are cooling down the room. Just gonna hang out here a minute. Okay, so neither of the spaghetti monsters should be cooling down past minus 70. This room is continuing to get colder. What is the cutoff for the room? Make sure I didn't screw anything up and freeze us out of here. 25. So at 25 degrees, that should turn off. It did. And then the other one should have opened. Which it appears to have done. Okay, you are still on, cooling down our water. Our coolant pipe is at 36. And dropping. And you turned off. Excellent. With you off, what is my coolant line going to? Now, are you spiking because you're trying to cool off that room now? Would be nice if you are. And you are. Very nice. So the reason it's not cooling it down constantly is because it's a safety built in that if the coolant line is ever too hot, then it should only do it a little bit at a time. That is fantastic. Okay. Okay, so volatiles. First off, I need to get my cables. which I've got 6 of them right here. 6 of them is not going to be enough to get me where I need to go, though. I can't really get you over to that. Probably go this way, because I'm going to want some lights up here at some point anyways. Whee! Then I guess I could just run down that way for the moment, but I'm gonna go make some more cables. Can't run up that way. Can't really go. I mean, I guess I could go up that way and around.
Hunger caution.
Might make a little bit more sense, but that's okay. Okay, let me go ahead and grab a black cable here, and I'll just dump that whole thing in there. You can go there. Then I could bring a cable up. Nope. Better to go this way. Just bring the cable up over here. And there we go. Now you should have power. You have an issue at line 12. Let's re-import you. All right, line 12, what do we got? Line 12, set cool valve on R0. Got the tank, and I have the cool valve on, but we just got that hooked up, so let's find the cool valve. Which should be called vol cool valve, I believe. Oh, there it is. Vol cool valve, so now you go there, you go there, you go there, you go here, you go there. Okay, you are not on. So let's see here. So if the temperature is less than I'm changing that to a 1, and then I'm looking at the temperature on that one. There we go. I think that might work better. Oh, nope. Don't close. Come here. Gotcha.
Health low.
So you're not flashing an error anymore. You are on. You should be cooling down. Now you have a lot of pressure in there, so you might take a minute to cool down. That's really getting hot. You are cooling down. Good. Need to cool that down. In order to make water.
Critical.
So that's kind of where we're at with that. Alright. In the meantime, let us get rid of some cableage. Okay, we're going to unplug all of this for the moment. Plug you back in, make things work. Okay, we're going to need to set up another filtration machine. We're going to need to set it up, we can just go here. I'll need to drag the pink pipe. I could just do the pink pipe down that way. Okay. Filtered stuff is just going to go straight into the dump. Everything else can just stay in the pipe. Let me grab the wrench, grab the brown. Trying to do this quickly. There we go. So we're going to get rid of volatiles, just straight out. I need more pipes. Pipes, and then some coils. I believe it's screwdriver, coils. Gotcha. Okay, so we're just gonna get rid of volatiles. If we do something like this, I'm gonna need some power. There we go. Okay, so that's just going to help get rid of volatiles, just to keep it from combusting in here. That's good. Yep, liking it so far. You're gonna actually be what we're gonna use to cool it down. I'll need to get some atmosphere in this room, which means that I need to get you set up. So between episodes, I redid the atmospherics in this room. I hooked up the coolant pipe to the heat exchanger over there for the room cooling, and I just gotta hook up this guy, which we can do right now. Let's see, we can just go. Screw it. there, there, and to you right there. Ta-da! Now we need to get some power to this guy, which means we gotta run some cables over here. There we go. So now we should be able to do room atmospheric cooling in here. So if I say go like that, and like that. And like that. Those are going to become our atmospheric pumps.
Health low.
Okay. So this room is cooling down quite nicely. And I might just pop off a wall and flood the base with Venusian air to pressurize it a bit. And then let it cool down. It's going to be more taxing on the ACs. They are working, but they are struggling a little bit. I'm just gonna have to let that run until it gets down to under 300 C. Just a time thing at this point. Alright, so okay, so volatiles is taken care of. We are getting rid of volatiles out of here, so when I run the combustor, that should take care of that. I can't run you to start cooling that stuff down until I get I might just temporarily throw out all that CO2. Do I even want to capture that CO2? I mean, the stuff outside is going to be 400. I mean, this might cool it down below that. If it gets cooler than the temperature outside on Venus, then I can capture the pollutant and the CO2. Otherwise, I just want to capture it from outside directly. And I possibly might even do it during a storm. Because it's not worth the energy to try and cool it down. Unless this thing is just going to give me the free cooling from it. But I do need to do something with that, because that is going to start becoming a problem. It's 8 megapascals. We still have time. I still have room. Grab you, grab you. You go there. There. Grab you. Come on. Then you can plug into there. We'll grab you. Oops. You can plug into there. If I grab that pipe back. We can just plug you into there. 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 And I'll need to get some more pipes. Okay, got some more pipes, so let's hook this guy up. Boom. Whoop. Boom. Alright. And we're gonna need some cables. You go there. You go there. You go there. I'm gonna save that one for just a moment. You are going to be O2 atmosphere pump. You are the into atmos pump. And the CO2 atmos pump. Perfect. Okay, so we got our paint. Let's paint these guys up so they work properly. Okay, and now CO2. Okay, and finally the oxygen. Very good, very good. Okay, so that will allow us to, once we start filtering, then we can put the various gases into the atmosphere. So what is on this chip? That's our old mixer code. We don't need that anymore. Get rid of you. So alias the room sensor to D0. Alias the CO2 pump to D1. Alias the O2 pump to D2. The N2 pump to D3. Actually, we already have this code. Let's make our lives easier. Gonna grab you, put you there. We're gonna import you. Import you. Put you back, and let's go. Nice. So you still got to cool down to about 250. That is going fairly quickly. Cool it goes down to 112. Still not great. But we are getting there. We are getting there. Okay, so if I export this into you, you are now going to be the room atmospheric housing. In case the chips get lost, a commander data comes and pulls them all out, we can put them back in. Star Trek reference.
Hydration critical.
Where he pulls out all the isolinear chips, and then he has to put them back Let's see. So if I rename this room atmosphere controller. Okay, now we know the pins aren't set, so that's going to throw some errors. Do I have a room sensor? I thought I had one over here in the corner, which I think I got rid of. Here's a sensor. And you look like a good spot. Okay. Go run some wires over there. This is a horrible spot to run my cable. What am I doing? Take this all the way back. We'll go this way. Put you there. And then we'll just run this down here.
Jetpack mode.
I didn't know we had crows on Venus.
Jetpack critical.
Apparently we have crows on Venus. Okay, so they've stopped angrily cawing away outside of my window. So that should be good. Okay. So you are at 285. You still need to cool down some. The ACs are doing a job of that. So now let's get you guys all cabled up. So we need the room sensor. None of this is in order for some reason. Room sensor, there we go. So you are going to be the CO2 atmosphere pump. You are going to be the oxygen atmosphere pump. Somewhere, O2 pump. Did I not hook that up? I did not hook that up. And the reason I didn't want to hook it up was so that when I did hook it up, it would reset all of the devices to alphabetical order on the network, which is why none of those were in order. So, now, if I go backwards, everything is in proper alphabetical order. If it's ever not, you can just cut a cable and replace it, and it forces the game to update the network and put everything in the correct order. Just a little bit of a pro tip. So we want the N2 atmosphere pump. You are going to be the coolant analyzer. You are going to be the coolant valve. Which I named, I think, room cool valve. Room cool valve. Okay, let's reset you. Excellent. Now you are set at 101, you are on, you are locked, so I can't change you, that is good. You are not on because the coolant is too hot. Okay. Now you guys should be at 10 because you want to fill the room. Yep, you're looking good. You're looking good. Water's not on. Between the crows and the planes, man, it is impossible to make recordings today. Okay. So, volatiles is still cooling down. Water is doing okay. If I make... See, this should be empty now. It is. So if we turn that on and make some fuel, it's no longer going to auto-ignite. That fuel mix is definitely off, though. But it is trying to put in more volatiles than it is trying to put in more oxygen. Which is fine. Fuel pump is not running. You were idle. You were idle. But why are you idle? Oops. Import you.
Health low.
We can go ahead and start controlling the mixer now. I think I just need to say if the pressure on the input side of the filter is more than 5 megapascals, or more than 1 megapascal, I guess. If it's greater than 0, then I just want to turn the thing on. So we'll just load into R4 from the filter, the pressure input. Set greater than 0. Okay, set greater than 0 if the pressure input R4 is greater than 0. Then we want to set the filter mode, and we'll just give it R4. Unknown line error 20. You are our mixer. So you should not be on, you are not on, you are active. You should be getting rid of some of this. You are still idle. Combustor has come back on. I'm going to turn the combustor off.
Health critical.
Come on. Okay, that should allow that to drain out. So now you're back on. Which means that you should be on. Or will eventually come on. Alright, let's go deal with the health again. Okay. I was like, why is that in an error state? Okay, so we are still cooling down just a buttload of volatiles. It's really eating up all of our CO2, or AC time. But we are getting there. So you only got up to 220. You were super hot. Okay, that guy is not on. The other one is on. Yep.
Warning, storm incoming.
Nice, another storm. Could always use those. Okay, let's see here. I guess now we just have to program each of the individual machines. So I'll get some more chips for that. But we have volatiles being taken care of, we have water being taken care of, the room atmosphere is being taken care of. I have not switched on those pumps because we don't have enough gas in any of them to, well, to really do that. Once the volatiles is cooled down, I might pop open a window to let in a bunch of air from outside, cool that down. So I can get the Stirling engine running. That should start to cool down our hot gas. And then once the hot gas is cooled sufficiently down, then I can run that over. Just run that over there, put in a little pump, and pump it into this guy. And then we can start doing some filtering. I think that's the way that we're going to do this. But first I need this volatile tank to get down to 250. Because it is just too dang hot. But that might have to be for next time. So I think that I wanted to put... yeah, you are going to be there. Bummer. I guess I could put the switch over here. You're fine there. Controller I can just lock into that. Not really a good place to put it. I don't want to ruin that wall, but this one is kind of taken up by other stuff, so I guess that'll be alright. Okay, so window shutter. Okay, so you. You and you. So you just want cables? I really like the look of the cabled wires in there. Let's go make some more cables. I want the screwdriver for some reason. There we go. So now I just need a bunch of plastic sheets. Okay. Okay, let's finish these guys up. So if I'm going to be cooling off this room, then I don't want, when I'm not in here, I just want the shutters to close. I don't want to deconstruct it. Oh, but I actually need a glass sheet. Really? Those aren't done yet? Oh, man. Okay. Yep, you don't work yet. Nice. Okay, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 glass sheets. Alright, went in for 11, came back with 14. Go figure. Okay. Excellent. Now I should be able to close those and just make sure everything is completed. It is. Excellent. Perfect. Now last thing I need is a occupancy sensor. I can just add that guy right up here. And wire that guy in. Have a wall burst from pressure. Well, that is certainly annoying. What a waste of resources. Well, I think on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Probably get another episode out, so we're gonna have to finish up some things. Man, that is really frustrating. it makes window shutters on Venus really complicated. Not really the way that I wanted to get that achievement, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. Have to wait till the room is pressurized. I don't know why I have a bumper, but okay. Alright, well, anyways. More bumpers. Let's check those outside, because those aren't going to be worth a damn. All of them have now broken. Yep.
Hydration critical.
So rude. I guess I can save those two at least. Okay, I don't know why you decided to break.
Hunger caution.
Cool. So now you're gonna suck everything in there back down to 100 kPa, which means you're gonna be filled up. Which I guess is fine, because then we can just start. We can start filtering, I guess. Well, anyways, I guess I will clean up that mess and deal with all of this. So. So I meant to pull off those two windows, or deconstruct them one, but apparently I pulled out the glass. So I filled up the room with air, which is now getting sucked into our waste tank system. And, yeah. I guess on the positive side, we've now pressurized this room. Yeah, you show 0, so at least you're doing what you're supposed to. You still want more nitrogen. You should want more oxygen, you do. Alright. Well, that's gonna go back down to 100. The atmosphere, or the AC, should kick on here at some point, cool this back down. And I guess we'll call this room pressurized, so I guess I'll go pump off a wall on the other rooms. Might as well. We'll just have a pressurized base atmosphere for the moment. Alright, and on that note, I'll go ahead and end it here. Hope you guys have a great one. Thanks for joining me today. I'll probably get one more episode out after this, just to finish up the atmospherics. Bob, why are you picking up? Thank you. Just wanted to bop your head. Alright, anyways, I will see you all in the next one. Bob says have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.